What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. My name is Splattercat, and a merry hi-do to all of you as we come back to play Craft the World one more time. We come back in Unity. Everyone, assemble for the Unity Hog. Now, let's continue playing. In the last episode, we had done a bit more delving and making sure, and as you can see, there's actually something new on the screen right now. Something is here that wasn't here before. I'm going to give you, here we go, tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. Do you see it? Up at the top right-hand corner of the game, they've decided to patch again. And it appears as though they've put in a new button that allows our dwarves to both leave and enter the shelter. So it's kind of a sequestering button, kind of an odd thing for them to add, but it isn't unwelcome. So basically, essentially what it does is if we click that, it sounds the alarm and tells everybody to get the hell inside. So as you can see, we click it, and now dwarves are forbidden to leave the shelter. They shall no longer go outside the sparklies, for outside the sparklies is danger, little Timmy. And if we undo that, of course, they'll go back outside. And so that allows us to tell everybody to head back to town. It's essentially our town hall meeting bell. If you guys remember from Age of Empires 2, you could like ring-a-ling-a-ling that town bell and everyone would run into the center garrison and fire arrows at whatever was coming after you. It's the exact same thing. That's essentially the button that they've given us right now. And as I said, it's not an unwelcome one. I do like the change. I do appreciate it. So it's something that we'll have to fiddle around with in the future. I'm going to put in some ladders over here. And as you recall in the last episode, we had really been trying hard to get down deep into the earth, just getting way down deep into Mother Earth and seeing if we could find some of the goodies that she's decided to bestow upon us. There are some new things, and we are going to have to pay attention for those new things since the last patch. So I didn't take a look at the patch notes. The first I've heard about it is that I've jumped into the game right now, and so as new things start to happen, we're just going to have to kind of deal with those and rectify whatever issues arise from them as a result. We've got one dwarf over here doing his dance of flaming his dance of flaming arrow construction. He's like, oh yeah, break it down, boogie it down, throw them thumbs, roll them dice. He's got a nice beat going. He's doing his thing. Let's go ahead and refill these tables too so that I don't have to worry about it in the future. Our food tables are well stocked. Things have been going very well here in Dwarfington. Dwarfingtonshire's Worthington Farthingtonshire. That's a really, really long name. We may have to shorten that a tad. Let's have a look around and figure out where we need to put torches in, because as you can see, the expansive nature of our tunnels it's becoming more expansive. I don't have any more words. I mean, I'm out of words to describe how expansive everything has become. But in that sense, we also need to make sure that we're putting things down where they go. It appears this wall can be ironed out to give us access to a new tunnel, so we're going to try and get in there. I recall seeing this in a previous episode. You'll forgive me. In the hubbub and ballyhoo of producing for the Banner Saga, I've been doing nothing but recording both Mountain Blade and Banner Saga for the last like week or so, trying to get ahead of schedule because my school got in, and so I've been being just bashed over the head with schoolwork the last couple days, and I will admit my last semester is a lot easier than some of my previous semesters. In fact, so much easier that I've been able to produce more than a few episodes a day, but at the same time, I'd still like to make sure that I pass. I mean, failing in my last semester would be very, very embarrassing. I can definitely imagine sending that note home to the family and being like, listen, I know that I've been here for like a million years, and I understand that you guys think I'm like the Van Wilder of college at this point. I've just been here forever. I appear to have accomplished nothing, but I promise you, I am almost done. We're getting there, slowly but surely. And I'll also be forced to admit that YouTube has caused my academic process to slow down a little bit because it's become a large part of my life. I enjoy doing this so much that really, given the choice between doing this and doing something else, I tend to choose this one on the back line. I've also been doing some research, oh my god. So apparently Richard Garriott is producing an RPG one more time. I hadn't heard about this, but this is sort of on the same level as like a new RPG from Shadowrun being produced, where it's one of those major things. Like Richard Garriott, if you don't know who Richard Garriott is, I will compound that issue by giving you a comparison you probably won't get either. Basically, Richard Garriott and Brad McQuaid are kind of like these two guys that pioneered the idea of interactive RPGs during the course of my childhood. Like, Richard Garriott is responsible for all the Ultima games, and if you look, our dear friend Brad McQuaid is responsible. What do we have here? Ooh, silver ingots. Let's produce some of those. I don't think you guys are interested in hearing me talk about silver anyways. Brad McQuaid is responsible for EverQuest, and so those are kind of two guys that are a little bit of a big deal in RPGs for differing reasons. Both of them kind of have a background in the RPG, online RPG, MMO RPG fronts, and so both of them haven't really been working on anything lately. I want to say that I am glad, before we go any further here with my diatribe, I am glad to see that silver doesn't take iron or anything of that nature, so let's just mash out a ton of silver here. And there it is. We appear to have run out. That is going to have to be hammered out, unfortunately. We've got to ingot that by hand. So let's get to ingoting. But as I was saying, Brad McQuaid made he didn't make Avatar. Brad McQuaid made Vanguard. I said Avatar for a reason. You'll see in just a minute. Brad McQuaid is responsible for EverQuest and Vanguard. And unfortunately, while Vanguard was no good, I mean, Vanguard was closer to the punch where I would like MMOs to be, but it still was just not a very good game. But as I was saying, let's track down some coal here while I talk. And it looks like there's some coal off that way, so maybe we'll start mining that. So anyways, Richard Garriott is responsible for Ultima, Ultima Online, Ultima 1 through Ultima 5 billion. If you've played Ultima, you'll know there's like 12 trillion Ultimas, and they all do different stuff, like they all play differently, which is kind of the funny part, so you really sort of have a tendency to remember the difference between like Ultima 1 and Ultima 7, for example. Like they all kind of play a little bit differently, but as I was saying, let me speed up the gameplay here for a moment. I've said as I was saying like 30 times now. Richard Garriott is apparently making a new RPG, and while I'm still frustrated with him over Tabula Rasa, which is an open sore, Tabula Rasa was an MMORPG that I loved very, very dearly, and unfortunately was abandoned by both NCSoft and Richard Garriott. As much as they both want to blame each other, it was equal parts both of their faults that Tabula Rasa lost its support from NCSoft, so I blame both. They're both on the block in my mind. But anyways, Richard Garriott's making a new game called Shroud of the Avatar, and he's been, I guess they made about $2 million on Kickstarter for it. And it looks like it's either going to go the way of Kingdoms of Amalur and just be awful, or it's going to be decent. I don't know. I've lost faith in the RPG community in the last few years. I've become so ridiculously cynical when it comes to RPGs that, I don't know, I have no faith anymore. I feel like the day of RPGs has just kind of come and gone, unfortunately. I don't feel like Kingdoms of Amalur was the last game that I truly had faith in, that I was really hoping that it would just be incredible, and unfortunately it wasn't. It was very, very mediocre, unfortunately, and it let me down, and I've just never forgiven them for it. Dark Souls did a good job at bringing me back to the fold, as does Monster Hunter. Every time they come out with a new game, I find myself being like, alright, so action RPGs are not dead. They're still trying to come up with conducive ideas, kind of interesting, original ideas. And I think they are still out there, but unfortunately, I, as an RPG consumer, I've just been burned too many times at this point. In our crafting tree here, let's get back to Craft the World. I felt the need to talk about that, and I feel like that probably would have been best left to a video log, but I don't have those yet, so why not? We're just gonna do it. Let's go to our construction menu here. We can make an iron cage. We need locks. So let's make a lock. There we are. We'll bounce our way around, and I'm going to make about 5 of those because I feel like there's going to be a lot of doors in the future that would need to be opening and that need to be closed. I mean, there's plenty of materials left. We're going to have silver doors and mithril doors if we continue the production process. We all know that that's what they're going to be throwing at us. Got some locks there, and what we're going to do with the locks, I forget. Ah, yes, we were going to make ourselves an iron cage. Sit a while and listen as we make this cage. I'm better at sitting a while and talking. If you guys have been around the Nerd Castle, you will know that I can talk at gusts of 35 miles per hour every single time. That's ready to go. Let's look at our other tabs and see what's new here. We've got silver helmets, silver armor, and all kinds of other goodies to be made. We've got a table with a tablecloth that's been queued up, but unfortunately has not been crafted. I've pretty much lost the plot with regards to what I've been doing in this game. I do know one thing. We need coal very, very badly, so let's figure out where our coal supply is going to come from in between here and the remainder of the game. I've got everything running at full bore at the moment. Oh god. It appears as though we have broken into some kind of hive. And I think in this case we're going to need to find a way to kill that off, because the hive is unfortunately going to be able to produce non-stop mobs. From here to Timbuktu, from here to Kingdom Come, whatever fictional location. Timbuktu's a real place. Never mind. I rescind my saying, but definitely Kingdom Come. That would kind of suck. Kingdom Come, you would sort of have to wonder what what would be the primary export of Kingdom Come. I'm not trying to be filthy here, but at the same time, why would you name it that? Why would you name it that? Down here on this side, we're going to be mining out some silver. He's losing health for some reason. I don't really know why. We've gotten all the coal out of this location. Let's drop them a portal to make their lives a little bit easier so that they can get in there and get the job done. And on this end of the map, I'm not seeing a whole lot of locations through which we can get more coal. It appears as though we may have another expedition to send out to there to see if there's anything worth purchasing, or if there's anything that will give us purchase out of that little block of ore on that side. But over here, there's not a whole lot left to be looked at. I'm going to take the remaining little vestiges of that coal because it appears as though we're running out, unfortunately. On this side, I'm a little bit conflicted as to whether we should allow these guys to continue spawning and just butcher them over and over and over again to get tons of XP, or if I should wipe out that hive. But in the interest of keeping people safe, I think we'll kill the hive. So I'm going to tell them to put in ladders right there. We'll put in a portal. And let's get these things queued up to be annihilated. If I can click them. I can click you, termite. I can accomplish this. Ah, they sent 2 archers. So we'll stick with our archers for now. What I will say, getting back to Shroud of the Avatar, is that the preliminary sketches and some of the early gameplay they have after 3 to 5 months, they do look intriguing. I mean, I'll admit, but then again, intriguing doesn't pay the bills, so I'm gonna remain cynical. I think that's, in order to protect my own gooey heart, my inner soul that loves RPGs, that loves Americanized Western RPGs, that really loves the concept of exploring like Elder Scrolls Skyrim style, or Ultima 6 style, that really enjoys those huge expansive worlds where you can mess around. My inner gooey bit heart, I'm gonna try and refrain from throwing too much stock into any of the early gameplay, because I already did that with Kingdoms of Amalur, and what we got was really kind of a mediocre game that I ended up not enjoying quite as much as I expected. They had R.A. Salvatore, they had all these different names they threw into that game, and at the same time it just came out feeling really, really average, and the banality of the game I think is what really struck me. Like, really? You had all these people working on this title, and this is what we came out with. Alright, well, it's a decent game, but I wouldn't lend anything legendary to its name, and I know there are people out there that are going to disagree with me. I understand that. I really hope that they decide to take this down. It appears as though our portals deteriorate the more people that go through them. So that's why our portals have been going down. It appears as though they've patched in some kind of system where everybody that uses a portal, it now deteriorates, interestingly enough. That's an interesting feature. And it appears as though we've got so many things queued up at this point that things are just simply not getting done, although he's saying that he has no path. I may try instead going with scaffoldings. Let's have a look at our scaffolding menu. So we shall scaffold as though there will nary be another scaffold to be laid. There we are, the scaffolds are like, oh, we're never gonna get laid again. It's a horrible day in the scaffold kingdom. Let's put down scaffolds and see if they can accomplish it through there. I'm gonna set up some mining operations in the background. Ah, they're gonna go in. And I think I remember in the last place, getting rid of these, they sort of just did it offhand. Like, you couldn't command them to destroy these, they just sort of did it eventually. So hopefully they'll pull a Nike out right here and they'll just do it, but I can't guarantee that they will. We could end up fighting nasty, nasty amounts of termites for the remainder of our existence here, since that one is suspended. Suspended like me from high school. Let's build Earth right there. Are you guys gonna do anything here, or like you just gonna stand there and stare at it there? But they're like, it's lumpy and it's also pulsing at us. It's veiny and lumpy and it has those little things that look like they're out of an Akira Toriyama comic. But anyways, hopefully they'll lay down some more dirt and not be chased. Well, I guess they're just gonna be chased around then. Please shoot him. There we are, so he's now been shot. I guess I'll get rid of all that construction. I'm not really sure what's going on down here, but we do need to place some torches, so let's do that too. It doesn't appear as though they can destroy our scaffold, so I'm gonna leave that as is for now. Let's get back on the boat here. And is anything else really needing to be crafted? It looks like he's up here making health potions, although how many we have queued up, I'm not really sure. I feel like I'm burning episodes in the pursuit of creating more objects, and unfortunately, we've got so many things being done at this point, and we've got so many people saying they have no path to wherever they're going, that I'm a little bit nervous about our productive opportunities on this map, unfortunately. In that case, I think our best opportunity is going to be to just continue focusing on things here at home. On this side, do we have more coal? That's what I'm really, really concerned. Oh, we do. We have a coal seam over here. So we might think about dropping a portal on this side and getting jiggy with some of this coal. Although not too jiggy. I don't want our coal to be sticky when we get it back home. Because getting jiggy with something also, it always felt like that would leave the object more sticky than it was before when I talk about things getting jiggy. It looks like we've got a fuzzy bugger down here who's going to try and waylay our opportunities at getting coal. That's okay, though. He can do that. Our vertical firing skills don't appear to be impeded, so at least he got wiped out. We're going to get rid of all these goodies in here. And then we'll also put some torches in so that we have light by which to see that which we hack at, because we might hack a dragon on accident. And anybody who's ever played the ancient dwarvish sport of Hackadragon will definitely realize that Hackadragon never ends well with anybody. Like, if you play Hackadragon, you've got to commit to the career. That is a career path that is not going to leave you long for this world. It's sort of like being a coal miner, except instead of getting the black lung, you end up with, I don't know, the burned face or whatever it is. Whatever condition happens by playing Hackadragon. That seems like a sport that would be fun for about 4 seconds before the dragon realized what was happening. And then Hackadragon, no longer a fun sport. Now then, down and on this side, we've got some iron to take care of here, so I think I'll do that next. Let's get going on our pit of sorrows. I will extract all of that as well. And then let's continue mining out this way. I feel like our mine has gone from being very, very organized to being just completely and totally unruly and unmanageable. Although to a certain extent, I'm really happy with what we've accomplished. I mean, look at all this stuff that has just gotten done down here. I mean, there's been a lot of things happening. There's been a lot of termite sex happening as well. There are a lot of termites down here. And you guys asked why I gave the archer the Santa cloak. This is why right here, because when they kite, they tend to do really, really dumb stuff and run around in circles, so just something to think about. Oh no, he's been beat back into a grave, unfortunately. Is he gonna make it? I may give them a warning sign and cancel all these jobs down here. I may have made a huge mistake. It appears as though the termites will reproduce. They're like goldfish. They'll get as large as the amount of space that they have remaining. So let's cancel the jobs that are down in there. And I'm gonna put in one of our warning signs to keep people from going down and in there because I appear to have made a problem that I can't solve. Do I have any of those signs would be my other question. Oh, I do. I have a beware sign. Good. Well then, let's go back to our crafting menu. And let's think about some of the other stuff we might accomplish if we were down here. It appears as though we have a parapet or something that we need to build. And since it's not giving me... Oh, I already have one. Okay, a spire. Well then, we'll take our spire and I guess we'll like sit it... Oh, it's a little tiny spire. It's not even like a big one. Okay. Well, I guess we'll sit it. That's kind of a weird spire. I guess we'll just sit it in the middle of our base here, and then we'll break it back down the moment that we do it. We do need better armor. We do need better equipment. Let's go through and make sure that our dwarves that are wounded are going to get some nap time in. He definitely needs a nap time. Oh my. Hey, they're sharing a bed together. That's cool. We're an equal opportunity. Everybody is welcome here in Dwarfton. If two guys want to share a bed, totally cool on my front. Let's go back and... He needs some health too. Where is my bed? Well, maybe you should go pick one, you dick. That's a new response that I've never gotten before, and we have unclaimed beds back here. We're under attack again, unfortunately. Why are people headed back down in here? I don't see any other jobs that need to be getting done. Let me go back and grab that sign and make sure that we place it. There we go. So that should keep any of our dwarves from getting themselves into trouble beyond that sign. On this side, we do have a few more. I've gotten in trouble with signs all the time, although mostly... God, you guys already know what joke is coming right here. You may as well fill it in yourself. I was going to make a geometry class joke there. I'm going to remove... I'm not going to try and make that one finish in any type of semblance of honor. That one, unfortunately, was just a very... That was a joke that should never have been told. Getting in trouble with signs? Yes, we get in trouble with sign all the time, and it's mostly in geometry class. It's mostly in physics class. Anytime they force me to do them maths, we're going to end up in that situation. We have an invasion coming in, and since half of our dwarf force is now sleeping... This could be a major problem for us. This could be a big, big issue. Let me go on into here, and maybe we can drop some cages down, although I think people need to build those before they go down. Yeah, somebody needs to place them, unfortunately. They are going to have to build their way up to my level. I hear the sound of, like, crafting or chewing or gnawing somewhere. He's probably going to be making arrows for the remainder of his life, so I'm going to cancel him out. People are saying, where is my bed? Well, there's plenty of beds right here. They're all over the place. How about you go find one? We've got our Santa-suited... Oh, he's punching them. He's not even using a weapon. He's been so filled with rage that he's just going to beat them to death with his bare hands because that's the kind of badass that he is. In reality, he probably has a yataghan. And unfortunately, he's now going to retreat. We do have a few guys in here. Oh, good. Yeah, don't fight them on this ledge right here. Just jump down into the middle of the enemy, although they are making a pretty good use of that guy who put his shield up, luckily. With two guys, we should be able to make headway, but there are a lot of them, and they appear to be filing in worse and worse. Okay, so we appear to have lost the war of attrition here. However... we'll tell them to go rest. Oh, they came straight on in. Well then, I don't really even know how to repair this situation. This is an invasion for the ages, and unfortunately I don't think we're going to make it out. The game's internal timer appears to have screwed us. Or I just haven't gotten the job done as well as I need to. They're bashing down all of our doors. Half of our society is asleep. I mean, they are drunk a lot of the time, and I can definitely see... I try and sleep through this too. You might as well be asleep when this one comes down the pipe because it's going to hurt A lot. What do we have left here that we can feed people? We've got some salads. Got a few buns left, so let's put our buns on the table. That got me kicked out of grammar school, but whatever. I couldn't stop putting my buns on the table. And there we are. So we've refilled the tables with salads. We are going to have to do some cooking in the future. And hopefully get that done. A lot of these guys are going to burn up once the sun comes out. Oh, they only burn... Oh, they're going to leave, too. So we do get some respite from the nasty... Or respite from the invasion. I never know how to say that word. I should probably look it up. It's one of those words that I learned way back when I was like 4 years old, and I use it all the time in conversations, but half the time I feel like I say it wrong. Okay, so that's now over and done with. We have 9 beds. How come you guys are having so much of a problem finding a place to sleep? There are 9 of you, and there are 9 beds. This is not a hard mathematical concept to rectify. We've built ourselves a spire. It'd be nice if they can interchange beds right now, and that's where the problem is coming from, that they're no longer assigning beds and they're just sort of like jumping in. These 4 beds don't appear to be being utilized. That's my issue, so it might be because that door got busted down. Let's think outside the box for a second, or kind of just learn the lesson that I should have learned a long, long time ago. And let's replace our doors. So there's 1. Other doors that need to be replaced are going to go right there. Oh, unfortunately, we can't do that. Well, never mind then. I don't want to place a door anyways. So to hell with you, door. Put a door right there. That's a hatch. I appear to have grabbed the wrong material. Never mind. It's all my fault. So the sound of snoring is now filling throughout the kingdom. And let's focus. How much coal do we have? I know we can't have that much. 37. So we've got enough coal to get by. But let's think about crafting ourselves some shiny new silver armor. Although the arms race is going so rapidly at this point that I feel like we can really leapfrog the technology and not have to worry about it. Although after that last battle, that does leave me feeling really, really nervous about the future. What is that? It appears to be some kind of well or something. Well then. You knew that joke was coming too. Let's jump on in here. A stone loophole. What in the hell? The add-on to a castle allows dwarves to attack from behind cover. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll craft one. I don't see any reason not to. We've got the extra stone, and we've got the extra clay, so why not? And unfortunately, like everything else nowadays, it's going to need to be crafted by hand. The table with a tablecloth, I'm a little confused as to why this has not been crafted yet. I've got crafting tables, we've got the workbench, we've got the workshop. It is queued up, so why isn't it happening? Maybe because everybody's sleeping. I'm going to give them a little bit of time here. And hopefully somebody will put that wall back in. I think the main issue is that the game doesn't give you enough dwarves. What I'm seeing right now is we're not having enough dwarves to get our work queue done and at the same time get our production queue done. Kind of an interesting situation considering he's saying that he doesn't have a bed, which may be another issue, is that I've queued people up to go to bed who are now stuck in kind of a logical loop, unfortunately. Why is this not working, though, would be my other confusion. I'm having a big issue figuring out why our sparklies are not covering everybody properly. Like, why is that not connecting with this one right here? Like, it's essentially grabbing everything except this location. I guess I'll remove that totem for now. We'll try and place it here somewhere, maybe? The second they get that back to base, let me find the totem in our placeables menu. And I can never find the totem. The totem is one of those objects that I'm consistently losing over and over and over again. I can never track it down. It's in here somewhere. I know it's not in there. Big yellow totem. Big yellow obvious giant totem. Where are you? He's apparently nowhere. Make sure that I do this the rudimentary way, which is just to go through by hand like so. I do this in games where you accumulate stuff, and you tend to lose things in the menus. I know it's in this one. It has to be in this one, and I just don't see it. That or it's in the menu with them. I don't know, guys. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see when he carries it back. Okay, it's been taken back to base now. Where in the hell is this totem? Oh my god, I have no idea. This is becoming a frustration to me now. Well then. I suppose in the next episode, I'm going to take a look around for the totem, which has gone completely and totally missing. And hopefully I can track it down. Oh, there it is. Okay, it finally popped back in. I don't know if I just moused by that about 400 times or what happened, but I'm going to try and place the totem right there and see if that helps. So that's going to be the last thing we do in this episode, but maybe his great smiling face will allow people to sleep on this level again. House complete. Okay. Alright, so everybody should be queued up to sleep now, I hope. We should see people racing back from the depths in order to get themselves into bed, cover themselves with the quilties, and get off to that slumberland. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle for another episode of Craft the World, where we continue to move it along, move it along. I'll see you guys next time. Take care out there, everybody, and hi-do!